Hepinize merhaba arkadaşlar, kanalıma hoş geldiniz. Bugün güzel bir iPhone 11 Pro Düşürme testinin S20 Ultra ve karşı iPhone 11 Pro düşürme testi yapacağız. S20 Ultra mı daha iyi, iPhone 11 Pro mu sağlamlıkta? Evet. Kanal.
Round number one, backdrop. In 3, 2, 1. So that backdrop shatters the glass on the iPhone 11 Pro Max, but on the S20 Ultra, the glass is surprisingly still intact, which could be due to Gorilla Glass 6, but we've seen Gorilla Glass 6 crack before. So I think the major factor here was that big old protruding camera lens. Due to the flat drop on its back from the machine, the camera hump actually took the majority of the damage here, and enough of the impact to where the glass on the back didn't crack. Now, of course, different angles of drops can obviously produce different results, but in this controlled drop between the two phones, the S20 Ultra gets the easy win in round number one. Round number two, corner drop. 2, 1. Neither phone takes too much damage from the corner drop, with the screens still remaining undamaged despite those ultra-thin bezels. The real difference here is the iPhone isn't nearly as scuffed as the Galaxy is, thanks to its stainless steel frame, which gives the iPhone the win here in round number two. Round number three, face drop. In 3, 2, 1. The face drop does major damage to the iPhone 11 Pro, with its screen cracking on the left edge and spiderwebbing all the way across the front, whereas on the Galaxy S20 Ultra, the damage isn't anywhere near as bad. While it did crack, the damage remained mostly confined to that left edge. I don't know if this is due to Samsung using stronger glass than the iPhone, or if the slight curvature on the screen somehow helps protect it, but either way, a significantly better result for the S20 Ultra, giving it the win in round number 3. Bonus round. With both phones passing our 15-point inspection, they move on to the bonus round, where last time the iPhone 11 Pro Max was able to make it through all 10 bonus drops. It definitely wasn't pretty, and the iPhone did lose a major function with its rear camera system failing, but the rest of the phone, from its display and speakers to Face ID, still remained fully functional. So let's see if the S20 Ultra can do any better. Bonus drop number 1. In 3, 2, 1. Okay, so that first bonus drop leads to some major damage. The glass looks significantly worse, with it now shattering all over, including across the fingerprint sensor, which, while it didn't cause complete failure, the fingerprint sensor now only seems to work around 20% of the time. Everything else on the phone, however, still seems fine, so we'll keep on going. Drop number 2 in a 3, 2, 1. 2 drops in, and that top portion of the screen no longer works. And the phone is also locking up intermittently, with the entire touchscreen becoming temporarily unresponsive almost randomly for 20 to 30 seconds at a time. Now, we could stop the test right here, but because the phone technically recovers and could make an emergency call, we'll go ahead and continue. And after 9 brutal bonus drops, the S20 Ultra finally calls it quits. There's now major damage to the OLED display across the bottom, and the phone is just randomly touching different parts of the screen, making it unusable. So not the best result here, and definitely worse than the iPhone. Okay, so with all 4 rounds in the books, let's take a look at the scorecard. In the first round, the S20 Ultra's rear glass was able to remain fully intact, while the iPhone's glass was completely shattered. In the second, the iPhone's stainless steel frame was less scuffed than the S20's aluminum. In the third round, the S20 Ultra's front glass sustained significantly.
Need a professional logo for your brand? I've used the new Wix logo maker to create one for my startup. I'll show you how.
So the Note 10 Plus is already sitting at the top of the phone buff style speed test rankings, but with the Galaxy S20 Ultra, Samsung is looking to take things even further. They've upgraded the processor to the Snapdragon 865, as if here still has RAM at 4 GB. Now, it's I think that's beat the iPhone not just overall, but also in that first lap, because the iPhone still remains so open. So this video delivery, the actually being able to all foot power capacity charge, or the iPhone gets the step over the Galaxy and Facebook, but with the S20 just ripping through Starbucks, it's able to capture the lead as it begins working on Word, where while loading the same 500-page documents, the iPhone makes the comeback and begins crunching thousands of calculations in Excel that result in generating those charts, where the iPhone just seemed to breeze through it, already moving on to the second row, increasing its lead to a full lap ahead just under midway through this first lap. And with the Galaxy now joining the iPhone here in Snapseed, we'll see if it can cut into the iPhone's lead while editing this photo. And from the looks of it, it's doing just that, completing the photo edit once again with the iPhone overtaking it while exporting the video in Rush as it moves ahead to the browser test. So a lot of going back and forth early on. This is probably the closest we've seen any phone come to matching the iPhone's performance here in the first lap. So it's going to be interesting to see if the iPhone can create some separation for itself here in the gaming row. But at least in Subway Surfers, that doesn't happen, with the S20 Ultra loading that game at a faster rate while matching the performance in flip diving. So here in Fit the Fats, it's anybody's race, with the S20 actually inching even closer to the iPhone with it loading Fit the Fat faster as well. So the iPhone is in some serious trouble here in Forward Assault. But with the iPhone loading the game at a faster rate, it's able to hold off the Galaxy's comeback attempt, with it quickly moving through the last row here in the first lap, finishing up with ESPN and moving on to Hulu. The S20 Ultra wasn't able to load Spotify or ESPN at a faster rate, allowing the iPhone to hold on and finish the first lap first with a time of 1 minute and 44 seconds, with the Galaxy coming in just 4 seconds later. But now we are in the second lap, where the name of the game is keeping as many of the apps that we opened in the first ready to go exactly where we left off. And so far, both phones have managed to keep all of the apps open and ready to go, which if continued should secure the win for the iPhone overall. But if the iPhone feels like keeping even just one of these apps open, the S20 Ultra and its 16 gigabytes of RAM could just make the comeback. And with the iPhone failing to keep Excel open, that's exactly what happens. The S20 Ultra has no problems keeping any of the apps open, allowing it to finish the test first with a total time of 2 minutes and 24 seconds, while the iPhone failed at keeping all of the remaining apps open, causing it to finish 10 seconds later, making the winner and the new PhoneBook style speed test champ, the Galaxy S20 Ultra. Anyways, that is it for me in this video. Thank you guys for watching, and as always, I'll see you in the very next episode.
Bilemiyorum. Başta Apple önde gibiydi. Sonra birdenbire Samsung'a geçti. Bu arada PhoneBook'a abone olabilirsiniz. Umarım ki bu video yüzünden telif yemem. Telif yersem yani cidden çok büyük sıkıntı olacak. Artık telif yememeye dikkat edeceğiz, öyle yapalım. Başka ne tür
Need a professional logo for your brand? I've used the new Wix logo maker to create one for my startup. I'll show you how.
Benim videom ne kadar öyle çıkar, ne kadar izlenir bilmiyorum ama
To start, you're going to type the name of our startup.
bu arada benim video kanalım ben Naci Cans. Buna da abone olabilirsiniz. Burada işle ilgili şeyler yapıyorum. Murat abiden geldim diye gelmiş. Umarım ki videoyu sevmişsinizdir. Hoşça kalın, iyi günler.